Big good one here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, help promote and rank up my channel. Episode 6 review, Rings of Power, spoiler review. Finally, a call to action, finally! But surprisingly, even it's underwhelming. All the battle stuff in here, the fighting, it's just very mediocre and plain. I really wonder where the money went for this show, because it's the most expensive series of all time, and it's got nothing to show for it. So we're just gonna break down my problems with this episode real fast. I'm not gonna break down the entire episode because I just don't care that much. In fact, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not gonna enjoy this show. I'm gonna finish up season 1, and I'm not gonna return for season 2. That's right, they're already filming season 2. I don't know if it has a big enough audience to warrant such a thing. Galadriel and her army are riding on horseback. This is after we see them on the boat headed towards, the Southlands or whatever. And there's a moment between her and Commander's son attempting to bond us with the characters. It's inefficient, ineffective, does do nothing for me with the characters, make me like them more or less. It doesn't do anything to really serve the story, in my opinion. They do something later on that tries to pay off on it, but it still doesn't feel earned. So Galadriel and the army riding on horseback with a sense of urgency across the land, but they never received word that would warrant such haste. They're just exhausting these horses, and conveniently riding directly to where they need to save the day. Once again, horses go in slow motion as if what's happening is epic, but it's really not. And whatever the elf guy's name is that's with the village and the people sacrifices the town's best defensible location to ambush some orcs in favor of holding down a small village as their last defense, as their final stance. Tactically, it makes absolutely no sense. And there's attempts at rallying speeches, attempts at intimate moments, all building up towards this battle. And none of it does anything for me to make me fear for these characters or to make me care for these characters any more than I already do, which is zero zilch, not at all. So the battle happens, and it's underwhelming, to say the least. Very underwhelming, kind of shockingly so. I mean, there's some brutality in it, but I just expected more from a show that has such a budget. The characters are dull. They're just plain and uninteresting in this show, and so is the action. The action is as plain dull and uninteresting as the characters. So the elf and the townspeople find themselves defeated by the orcs. They're getting slaughtered, and I don't feel anything for any of them. I should, but I don't feel this show has earned that, and this show hasn't given me enough with these characters. They're just all very plain. They're defeated fast by the orcs. Then Galadriel swoops in with her army, and it's just cringe. You have this commander being taken down and swarmed relatively fast by the orcs. The commander, of all people. His son swoops in, saving him. And it should have felt tense, but it didn't. Because, again, the show has done nothing to make me care for these characters. The orcs lose at our fleas, and Galadriel follows him in pursuit. Yet, Halbrand, I think his name is, who left after them, somehow cuts them off. After all the slow build-up this show has done, it just glosses over things that need context. He gets captured, and he spills some truths that make him actually more interesting, which is cool because he wasn't interesting at all to me. But still, I couldn't get into it. I think he's more interesting than he was. I just can't get into this show. I think it's the dullest show. Everything in it feels underwhelming and uneventful. It's not the worst thing on right now. I mean, there are other things that are worse, but this isn't good. It's very meh. I don't think this show deserves a season 2 considering the cost to make it, but maybe others feel differently. Let me know in the comments section below. Maybe there's people out there actually enjoying these shows, these episodes. They're really into these characters. Let me know in the comments section below. I'd really like to hear what's working for people, because nothing in here is working for me at all. I wish it would. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this episode. Stay awesome. Rock on.
Follow me.